In this video, let's do a quick overview of basic workflow. We won't focus on creating locators or anything like that. Our goal is to understand how to run our scripts. We'll create simple test script, create test suite, add script to this test suite, execute it, and open a report. So let's get started. First step will be to create our test script. So under script directory, I want to create my test in examples folder. So right click, new file. Let's name it test1.ct. Yes. So I will write here some simple steps just for demonstration purposes. So to open some page, in this case I will use Google. Next we'll search for some text. So I want to search for Colibri group. This is the locator of the search field. Next will be to click on the search button. This is the locator for this button. And the last step will be to validate that element I'm looking for is visible on the page. So I want to check if div that contains text Colibri group is present on the search result page. So this is a simple test case. Next step will be to add it to a test suite. So in our suites folder, I already have 4 suites, but I want to create a new one. Suite 1, not SCT. In order to add our test script, we need just to type its name inside our test suite, and we are done. In order to run our test, we need to select Run configuration. We have Maven configurations and TestNG configurations. TestNG configs are mainly for development purposes. For example, you created a test and you want to check if it runs successfully. It allows to run basically only one test at a time. Maven configurations allow to run multiple tests inside our test suite. So for now we have only one test, so I will use testng config. So let's use this one. However, it is configured to run Elite Regression Suite, but I don't want it. So this parameter, tests, this is the name of test suite we want to run. So we created suite 1. So I want to run here to write suite 1. This parameter points to the configuration we want to use. So in separate video we discussed these configurations more deeply. So here we have to specify which one we want to use. This is a default parameter of IntelliJ, so don't touch it. Apply. Okay, so let's try to run our test. Press this button. Okay, and as you can see, our test passed. We have a green check mark here. So let's imagine that you added a second test. So let's go to my examples. I will just copy paste and rename it to test 2. So now we have, in our case, 2 same tests, but it doesn't matter for our purposes. So in my test suite, I want to add the second test. So I write test 2. So now we have 2 tests here. In this case, we won't be able to run 2 tests using our testng configurations. So we have to use our Maven configurations. Let's check what we have here. Okay, so I will use this configuration. It takes same parameters as testng config. So I will edit test suite. I want to run suite 1, and I want to use the same configuration, elite stage. Okay, because I edited it. Let's press apply. Okay, and now, as you can see, this Maven configuration is selected. And in theory, when we press this button, our 2 tests should run in parallel. Let's check. As you can see, we have 2 Chrome windows open, and our tests are running in parallel. So it will save a lot of time during execution of our regression suite. So execution has ended. We can open our report. The last folder, it has a time mark. So this is a date, and this is a time when the test started running. And here is our report.html. Let's open it in a browser. So as you can see, we have 2 tests, test 1 and test 2. Here we have all the steps that have been executed for test 2. And if you click on test 1, you'll have the same information, test 1. On this tab, you have the general information about test execution. As you can see, total test 2, how many steps were executed, total time, and pass percentage, and some infographics. Basically, that's the end of our basic workflow.